Kia ora tātou. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this October Council meeting. And I'll ask Councillor Pipe to take us through the prayer, please.
O God, our Creator, bless us as we gather today for this meeting. Guide our minds and our hearts so that we will work for the good of our community and help all your people. Teach us to be generous in our outlook, courageous in face of difficulty, and wise in our decisions. We ask this grace through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Okay, apologies. I think we've got a full head count here by the looks of things, which is good. Any notices for this meeting? Any notices? No. Mr. Mohi. Report and recommendations from the Māori Committee? Yeah, okay. Okay. There was no notices there. He did that. Conflict of interest declarations today. Confirmation of the minutes of the Regional Council on the 30th of September. So I'll just quickly go through for accuracy. Page 2, page 3, page 4, 5, 6.
Catching up with you here, sorry.
Sorry.
It seemed like on page 5 that these minutes sort of jumped from what was starting to be a discussion of a reporting of the tourism KPIs. It has jumped there from a forest estate discussion, which then resumes, it appears, on page 8. So the tourism sort of seems to be kind of stuck in the middle.
It was the order of the resolutions, meaning that there was an amendment put and then it was lost, and then we went through the rest of the resolution, if you like, and then got to the movement at the end.
So we went off the subject of the forest management onto tourism, then back to forest management.
I think
it's sort of
I'll get the Secretary to help us if we have to, but the discussion went from, we had the discussion, then we had the resolution, and the amendment had to be put in first in the minute to deal with that part of it. It was subsequently lost.
Right. Then
the rest of the resolution is listed, and the mover and seconder, etc. at the end. So it doesn't, the minute doesn't actually reflect the discussion.
Right. Okay. Right. Sorry.
Okay, where were we? 6, page 7, page 8, page 9, page 10, 11, 12, page...
I'm still on page 11.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering why the whole Chairman's monthly report was included when that's really, I mean, all it should have been was received and noted, I would have thought.
First time.
Not the first time, second time, sorry, through you, Mr. Chair. Because it's a way of getting it into the minute so that everybody knows what we've discussed without attaching a separate report to the minutes, so that it actually appears where it was discussed. That's why I've put it in. Under normal circumstances, because it was tabled at the meeting, it should actually be attached to the official minute and put into the minute books, along with all the rest of the information that related to the meeting.
Because it doesn't go out with the agenda, is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
Well, this is great account of that. I think the standard form that will be attached should be followed.
Yeah, but this is actually a report. It's just not, doesn't come out with the agenda, so the public have no opportunity to read it before the meeting.
But the form should be
well, it can be attached, I mean,
Mr. Chairman,
6 to 1, half a dozen the other.
I think it's a good idea for it to be in the minutes, to be honest. Otherwise, it's a piece of paper and it's going to end up in the rubbish bin.
Thank you. I don't really see any difference, because it's actually not my comments, it's a report, but it's not tabled with the agenda, therefore the public have no access to it before the meeting. That's the issue.
Councillors don't have access to it before the meeting.
No, they don't. Anyway, let's continue. Page 12, page 13, and that's us. Someone happy to move? Beck, you happy to move? Thank you. Councillor Graham, I'm looking around the room. Second, Councillor Pipe. Put that motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Any matters arising from those minutes? Councillor Barker.
At the last meeting, I asked for the spreadsheet, whatever it was, of meeting attendances to be supplied, because we had a discussion about attendances, and it was said that it would be. It hasn't been. So I move that the CE, Chief Executive, provide to councillors who request it the information relied upon.
Hang on. What do you mean you move?
I'm not told to move a motion,
This is matters arising
but I want to move a motion. Are you
to...
saying I can't move a motion again?
No, I'm just saying let's discuss this. Let's
I-
get a reason why.
No, I want to move a motion. That's my right as a councillor to move a motion. Your right is to, if it's out of order, strike it
Not
down.
under matters arising.
Well,
I'm not sure where this is heading, Councillor. You wish to get a list of the meetings, right?
no, I want a motion requiring it. I asked for it, and it has not been supplied. That was a month ago. And there were nods around the table, and I just think if people won't supply it on request, then the only recourse I've got is a local government Official Information Act request or a resolution of council. Now, I want to move a resolution of council. There are a number of things that have happened like this, so I want to move my motion. I just asked Chair that if you will then see if there's a second, and we can then test the will of the meeting, because it's the meeting's decision.
Move your motion.
I move the CE provide to councillors who request it information relied upon that was aggregated to show councillors' attendance for the annual report, and it to be broken down into meetings with minutes and others.
I'll second that.
Wish to discuss further?
I'll reserve the right of reply. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Discussion?
I'd like to see that information too, please, for me.
Put the motion. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you. Right. No other matters arising from those minutes. Councillor Dick.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Page 10, the amendment on the issue of management of Heretaga Plains groundwater. Council requests a further report from the Group Manager, Resource Management, on the matters raised. In the legal opinion, can we have an idea of when that might appear?
Yes, Mr Maxwell's intending to bring that to the November council meeting.
Okay.
So we're still... I had a matter arising.
Oh, sorry.
I just think in terms to carry on the Chairman's report, I'm wondering why it's tabled each month and why it can't be included with our minutes. Agenda, sorry. Yeah, I just think it's habits and it shouldn't be that hard to get it out, to get it in the correct order.
Well, there is a reason, Mr. Chairman, and that is that it'll be a week out of date by the time we consider it.
It's under 3 weeks out of the anyway.
I'll take that on board. I have had that request but for the reason that Councillor Dick has just articulated, that's the reason I do it this way, but we can change, it's fine. No further matters, right. Follow-up items, item 5, I'll hand it over to the Chief Executive.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm actually going to take all the follow-ups as read because the status comments give quite comprehensive explanations of the action that has been undertaken. So I'll just take questions. Thank you.
Can someone just remind us where the West Shore renourishment material is coming from?
It's coming from the Narororo River.
From the Narororo River, in a location that needs some extraction, presumably.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I'm not specifically. I can't answer accurately where the location is. I'll get Mr. Adey to let you know when he's here. But yes, it's from a consented take from the Narororo River.
Will the material be compatible with the beach material?
I would assume. Oh, again, he would have to provide you with a definitive answer, but I would have thought for it to be effective, it would have to have been, so that would have to have had an assessment done on the types of material used to ensure its compatibility.
Is he away for a while, is he?
No, he's here today. I'll get him down.
Oh, that's right. I'll check with him later in the day.
Okay.
Just on the same issue, we had the presentation 5 times yesterday on coastal erosion and the impact of sea level rise. And one of the issues, well, one of the assumptions that was made on the data we looked at was that nourishment would continue at West Shore. And despite the renourishment, there's a significant amount of erosion predicted to happen over the next 100 years on the West Shore beach area. And the Tonkin and Taylor, who did the modelling, were asked to do another model based on renourishment ceasing to see if there was any beneficial effect that was actually being produced from it. And we'll have a look at that hopefully in the next month or so.
That'll be bye-bye to the airport.
I'm not sure that was what was said. Councillor Belford.
It's happening. It's
Yeah, I have 3 comments or questions on these follow-up items. The report on the nature preservation zone, I think, is grossly inadequate in terms of describing what actually has been proposed out there. It doesn't even mention the creation of 44 permanent residences at Cape Kidnappers, as a for instance. This business of sending us little emails as follow-ups that are supposed to be follow-ups to questions, serious questions raised, I think is inadequate. Moving forward from there, we have an email from Ian Maxwell regarding the biodiversity strategy, which basically says nothing. We've been waiting for this to move forward. We're basically no further ahead than we were a year ago at this time. Then in June, we agreed to fund a position. Now we are in some kind of extended negotiation with DOC about this position. Nothing's happening. So we are told here, in parallel, a date and venue is being explored for the strategy launch and the planning of the event begun. Will this launch occur this year? Can anybody even say that? Okay. Yeah. So it's moving in slow motion. Fortunately, species die in decades and centuries, so I guess we have ample time.
Next point, Councillor Belford.
There's a reference here to, again, I asked for a report on Otani wastewater consent, and all of a sudden, the matter seems to be placed on hold. Meanwhile, we get nice, slick little brochures from the council. What I'm saying,
ask your question instead of
my question is, why
dancing
can't
around
we
the
get
table?
adequate responses to the questions we ask?
That's a fair question.
So the purpose of this paper is to give you, it's to provide information as it's requested at a particular meeting as a follow-up. It's not where there's a requirement to give you a full briefing paper or a full agenda item, that is also done. But the intention of this particular paper, and the reason why it's always first up on the agenda, is to just keep you up to date with where things are at in relation to particular actions or activities as requested through previous agenda items. They're not This is not the place for a full-blown or singing or dancing agenda item on a paper.
I understand that, and my question at the last meeting was for a briefing on where we stood with the Otani wastewater issue, which has to do with the Tapanui catchment plan, with aquifer issues that are being raised almost constantly by various folks in the community who are normally at these meetings. We have a gigantic Information Act request here later on page whatever. And so I asked for a briefing to be brought forward on where this whole matter stands. And is there any reason why we can't have that briefing, or am I not asking it precisely enough? Because I understand I have to be very clear about what I ask for.
So can I just get some clarification from you on what the status comment doesn't provide to you? The application is on hold. The reasons why it's on hold are given there. No notification decision has been made. Is there any other information?
Yes, I'd like to know what the issues are. There are members of the community who are saying there's some...
That's enough. So you want to know what the issues are?
I'm trying to answer her questions.
Okay. Okay, so
it's very clear,
yep,
I would think.
Yep, that's fine. We'll give you the issues.
Okay. You had a third one, Councillor Govan? No, that's it. Councillor Scott.
Birthday. Is this quite correct that we've actually won the award? Last time we were nominated, we've won the award. Well, can I congratulate you? What an excellent thing to win, and please pass on my, I'd like to say perhaps I better be careful not to be presumptive. Please pass on my congratulations to the staff. It's a really good plan, it's an exciting future, and you know, let's celebrate. This is a real move towards, you know, contributing to biodiversity.
Any other questions?
I just, on that proposed nature preservation zone, I must admit I'd like to know a little bit more about that. I'm not sure how much of it is our business and how much of it is not our business. Is it just reporting on what Hastings is doing?
Yes, so the information is available to you in the Hastings District Council District Plan. That's probably the best place to source it. It's not our plan, and I'm sure that that's available, you know, online through their council website.
So nothing in that proposal concerns us technically?
We're still assessing whether or not we wish to join any appeal. Certainly we support the concept of it. We're just, since this has been written, the appeal period I think is about to close or has just closed to the Hastings District Plan. So we'll be assessing what those appeals are, if there are any, and whether or not we wish to then join as a party to support Hastings District Council's position on the zone.
Just on the same issue, I needed some landmarks to read this map. Can we get some...
Oh, okay.
How far does it come down to?
If you know where the wool shed is, you come into the main parking area, go up the beach a bit, there's a wool shed. That area there is the lower node of what's one of the two eco-preservation zones. And that's the area where it's proposed there would be a variety of developments appropriate, commercial and otherwise, related to ecotourism. So they've set that up, and it extends up the beach. I forget exactly how far, but up to a point where the issue has always been then Maori issues in terms of burial sites and what have you. So I forget exactly where that boundary is. And then that's one zone, and the other zone is actually up on Cape Kidnappers itself, and that's a separate zone that is responsive to a request by Julian Robertson and that group to develop further sites up there for residences and what have you. So there are two pieces of it. And then there's finally a campground, which is where the campground now is, but it's now being officially sort of demarked as to where it is and what development of it could take place. Historically, we've commented on things like wastewater management and so forth, roading, other impacts on the environment of those developments. This time
We
not.
really have gone right off.
No, I'm happy to, I've been happy to let that explanation flow. I think he's finished, so it's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
Okay, any other?
You can see on the map where Rex shot a goose.
And that wasn't helpful. Any other questions around this report? Someone happy to move them? That we accept it. Thank you, Councillor Scott. Seconded, Councillor Belford. Discussion. I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Thank you.